Hola, bon dia, alegria, Munson here from expatsportugal.com with the Good Morning Portugal show. There's really only one word this morning, isn't there? England! Now, I am not really a deeply passionate football fan, but you could not resist my lad of 9, he's much more interested in Minecraft and things on screen. You know, he's a computer guy. But he was drawn to the sofa to sit next to me and to his mum to watch England on the telly. He was asking questions about football. What an occasion. Well done, you lads, you England squad. What a fantastic result last night into the final against Italy on Sunday. Who dares to predict that result for Sunday? It's going to be amazing, and what a wonderful birthday present for me. It's my birthday yesterday. Thank you everybody for your lovely greetings that continued all day yesterday. I had a wonderful time. Tell you a bit more about that later. And the wonderful restaurant I found in my village. Isn't it risky when there's only one restaurant in the village? It better be a good one, right? And it is. It was great to go there for lunch yesterday. Tell you more about that. But we've got some special guests. Thursday is now moving to Portugal Thursday. We call it Places and Spaces Thursday, which was okay. But you want to know about moving to Portugal. And who better to do that on this newly christened Moving to Portugal Thursday? The Loves have landed, everybody, and they're joining us live from Porto now. Good morning to you both. How are you?
Bon dia.
Bon dia. Wonderful.
Excellent. As I say, live from Porto, those who know you from the Expats Portugal community will know of your lovely journey, thinking about this, gestating the whole idea, getting married along the way. How wonderful. You're loved by name, loved by nature, loved up, and here in Portugal now. It's an absolutely wonderful story. First question really for you is what made you choose Porto, and how is it being there?
You first.
Okay. We heard wonderful things about everywhere in Portugal. We were trying to find somewhere that would be more local, I guess. But still, a larger place to really be involved in, all the goings on, of the city, and then also some cooler weather because we came from North Carolina where it was over 100 degrees Fahrenheit, so 35 or so at least C,
Yes.
and now it's 20, so it's wonderful to come to this, and so it's been great. We've been here 4 days, but so far it's been amazing.
Oh, it's super. Thank you for joining me. So Lauren, what about you? What's your view and what are you enjoying especially at the moment?
Yeah, so I studied in Germany for language a long time ago, and I just love the feel of Europe in general. The emphasis on the group instead of the individual is just it's everywhere here, and I love that. But I settled on Portugal because of just the friendliness of everyone, it seems like here. And of course, we've been watching the Expats Portugal for, I don't know, almost a year now. And so just with that, it was just kind of like, okay, the more and more we looked into it, the more we couldn't say no. It was just like, okay, everything about this place sounds amazing. So then after we got married, we were just like, okay, I guess we're doing this. And I got my new passport, and then we did our visa stuff, and now we're here. So yeah.
Oh, that's absolutely wonderful. And I know you've brought your dogs with you, or you're kind of mid-process with that, aren't you? This is interesting. And any questions you've got for Lauren or Andrew here this morning, do ask them, because they'll be, I'm sure, well, they've agreed to be helpful and reflect on their journey and share with you, which is a lovely thing. So thank you both for being like that. I do want to come back to this thing about the individual and the group, but before we do that, let's talk about the pooches. One is with you already. And one is on the way to you as we speak, right? It's going to be delivered to your door later. So there will be people who want to know about this process. How's that been, bringing your dogs over?
So at first we were planning to bring them both on the plane with us. But Lufthansa was the only airline that would take the big one. But he's 75 pounds for everyone on here. But he had to have a specific crate size, and the specific crate that we were going to get for him had to be made custom for him. So because of that, so because of that, they kept back ordering some of the parts for said crate. until they backordered it past our flight. And so,
Oh dear.
so he couldn't go with us anymore at that point. So then we got a pet relocation service, and they are now delivering him to our door today at 3 p.m. Yeah.
Isn't that an amazing thing? I mean, with the ordering parts for the crate, what's it got in? Is it like a fridge and a jacuzzi and a hot tub? And what's going on with this crate?
Oh no, I don't know. You're the one that tried to order it.
Yeah, there's apparently some aluminum shortage.
Oh yes, of course, yeah.
Yeah, and so it was aluminum crates. They just couldn't get the parts made.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we just got stuck this way.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Yeah.
Well, how exciting! Sorry, what's his name again? He arrives this afternoon.
Yes, Nimbus. He like the cloud.
Nimbus, fantastic, Nimbus. Flying through the clouds and arriving. What an amazing thing! Let's say hello to a few people who are joining us this morning. Elra's here. Good morning, everyone. She says Stephen Wells as well. Good morning to you both, and to Robert as well. Robert Winkel, bon dia from Provence, France. With a German-sounding name there, I think you might recognise as well, Lauren. Hola, bon dia, alegria from Dallas, Fort Worth. Good morning to you, Leah. Leah or Leah, I beg your pardon. Tell me which. Phonetically, maybe in the comments. They did it for your birthday. Yeah, I knew it. That's the feeling I had. Well, I was thinking, if they lose, how do I frame that in my mind? How do I cope with that as an end to a fantastic birthday? But they didn't. I mean, what a match as well. So yes, Stephen, thank you for that. Bon dia from sunny Povoa de Vargem. This is somewhere to go for you guys, liking the cooler weather, and perhaps if you like the coast, the green coast of Portugal. Great place to explore when the time is right for you. Johnny is here as well. Johnny RG, bon dia to you. Andy's here as well, newly in Lisboa. Bon dia a todos. Andy, you can find out about the other notable city, Porto, this morning. Well, there are many notable cities, but this is the big sibling rivalry thing, I think, between Lisboa and Porto. The tripias, are they called? The tripe-eaters of Porto and the lettuce eaters of Lisbon. True story. Greetings from São Rafael in the Algarve, where the pleasures of life, here we go, this is another one, where the pleasures of life continue with pure happiness, health and stress become a distant word. He's doing all his copywriting for the Algarve Tourist Board, everybody. Em McGowan's here. Great job, Paul. Oh, and while you're there, Paul, thank you for sending me this. This is Paul's prognosis of my life for the next year. I think he said, this is your life now, because I'm giving up booze and alcohol for a year. And there he is sending me a bottle of water, taunting me via email, going to all that effort. I'm doing well so far, you might be pleased to hear. It's 9 minutes past 9. I haven't had a drink yet today. Nimbus, we can't wait for you to get back home and rest after your adventure. Nimbus has got fans already. Look at that.
I'll have to put pictures later.
Yeah, that would be great if we could see that. Benvindo from a former Southern Californian, that's Khadija, of course. I am further north than you and love the Alto Minho and love the weather also. I have a best friend living in Girton, North Carolina, and she is interested in immigrating also. I mean, this is the question that keeps coming up. What is it about North Carolina? We've got so many friends and connections in North Carolina, haven't we? Expats Portugal. What do you think that is?
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure weather helps. I think politics helps,
probably help a lot,
especially after the previous 4 or so years over there. Yeah, it's just been a mess
for us anyway.
What, as a driver to get you away from there?
Yeah, that was a pretty big one. Actually, right. Politics. That was I think
that was probably our first push to looking at Europe at all, and then ended up at Portugal.
Yeah.
It's just something about North Carolina. It's amazing. We have so many friends there. From Twitter, this is rare, but this is fantastic. We stream on Twitter as well every morning. From Vedats, look at that, yin and yang going on there. Vedats 18 is here. Good morning to you. What brings you here? Do you have an interest in Portugal? England were lucky, says Andrew. Do you think so, Andrew? The pressure was there for the whole match. The possession was there. And I did call 2-1, he says. Yep, fair play. Mark Stoll, bon dia from Norfolk, UK. Good morning, Mark. Milda saying bon dia, alegria from Oslo as well. Happy belated birthday, Carl. Thank you, Milda. Appreciate that. Bon dia from a sunny Alcobaça this morning. The Silver Coast. You need to visit you guys at some point. This would be Leah. Thank you for asking, says Leah. I do like to get that right. And then probably forget again and ask you to do it later on. So my intention is good, but my memory isn't. Leah, good morning to you. Jim White, bon dia a todos. And for the time being, welcome to Porto from Namaste Dave, an unofficial ambassador, I think. The dog process can be stressful. We shipped our 2 German Shepherds. Yeah, they're big dogs, aren't they? And they are with us in Porto. Some experience there. I want to take you back then, if I may. The Loves live from Porto on this newly christened feature, Moving to Portugal, which we'll showcase every Thursday. But you mentioned, the group versus the individual thing. You see that as a factor, a feature of European life, that people are more about family and community than they might be ruggedly individualistic?
Yeah, I just think it's just so great that everyone here is more about family and more about family life. And in America, it seems like the work-life balance is a part of that too. So like in America, it's just like, I need to work so I can make money, so I can do the things that I want. And here it's just like, I'm going to work, but I'm also going to hang out with my family and have a really good time and then work again the next day. But I'm here to enjoy my life, not just to work forever. So
well said.
Yeah. So that's one of, I think, the second biggest reason that I was ever always interested in Portugal as well. So.
Oh, that's so lovely to hear. Yeah, there's a meme going around, isn't there? Which is, in Europe, on an email responder, it's August. See you in September. That's the email responder. Mm-hmm. The American one is, I'm sorry, I'm having a kidney removed today, but you can call me on my cell phone. It's like, what? That does pretty much sums it up by the sound of it.
Yeah, yep, it's very, very true.
Yeah, that I'm paying for out of pocket, and all kinds of that kind of crazy stuff too.
Yeah,
incredible. So Porto specifically then, and we get the gist that you chose it, cooler temperatures, you want to be in a thriving city, which it is, of course. Is that your experience so far? And what should people do? I mean, how's it going for you? You're maybe a little bit jet laggy at the moment, but you seem to be the photographs I've seen, you seem to be enjoying yourselves around and about Porto. Tell us a little bit about the city.
So we've basically been trying to hit up all of the coffee shops. So we've been trying to find our favorite coffee before we do start working again in 2 weeks. Trying to find some good wine bars, trying to find some good wine. You always have to have good wine.
I noticed that.
I love my wine. I'm trying to think. We've really just been trying to see all the different neighborhoods, really. Just trying to find our new hangouts and trying to find people that want to meet up with us. So if you're in Porto, hit us up. We'd love to meet with you. But yeah, so we're just trying to kind of get our footing right now and see which places we really like and trying to find our hangouts for the next year or so.
Yeah.
So
that's terrific.
Pretend we can speak Portuguese at all the restaurants and the shops.
We're trying. We're working on it.
Yeah.
How's that going? How's that going, Andrew?
It's going okay, but it's actually really nice because everyone is very,
kind,
very kind, and very, very willing to help you out and tell you when you're doing it wrong and tell you how to do it right. So it's working.
Yeah,
out really
that's
well.
right. They're very patient, aren't they, the Portuguese? And as we often say, a little bit of effort goes a long way. And we experienced this yesterday, and there was a common moment of speaking French as well. My wife speaks French beautifully. And we had, we were practicing our Portuguese. I love it when I can have a restaurant experience and it's all in Portuguese. And it was all fine until I was trying to explain, can we have everything at the same time? Because we ordered a starter and some mains. And I was trying to say, how do I say, bring it together, like ensemble or something like that in French. So it was a bit awkward and sticky. And the guy just broke from Portuguese to English and said, do you want it all at the same time? It's so close. I nearly did the whole thing in Portuguese. And we said, well, what is that? He said, mesmo tempo, like same time. It's literal translation. I was there. And then later on, he and my wife, Louisa, Mrs. M, were talking in French, and that was really flowing. It was an amazing thing. So a lot of Portuguese people do speak French. So you're a German speaker as well, are you?
Well, so I studied at around 7 years ago, and then never had to use it again. So, but it's funny because like when we've been here for a couple of the nights, I've like gone from Portuguese into like German. I'm like, oh God, oh crap, that's German. Sorry.
It happens.
Like, I understood you until this point, and I was like, oh crap, mixing all
Yes,
the languages now.
Yeah.
well, again, I think that's a lovely sort of gesture towards having a really good try and making an effort. And I think Portuguese people appreciate that. And on occasion, I have used German of my school German in Lourinhã on the Silver Coast. We went into a dinosaur museum, and there was no common language until I tried a bit of German, and the lady on the counter was speaking German. So it may serve you at some point. Okay, let's go.
We've actually found like, a lot of the places here, just because we've met someone from Brussels, we've met some people from Spain, I think too, but like we'll be sitting somewhere and I'll just hear someone just start talking in German, and then of course the waiter is already talking to them in German. I'm like, holy crap, how many languages do you know here? And it's just crazy. I love it, but it's definitely a different experience than America. So
yeah, we'll tune in tomorrow because we've got the wonderful Philomena for a Philomena Friday tomorrow, and she's we came on this idea that watching children's TV in Portuguese is quite a good way to learn, as well as feature films that you might already know. It's quite good, and you can see the subtitles. But we're going to be learning a children's song tomorrow, which we want everybody to learn. So you could tune in for that over breakfast if you want. And Philomena is a great teacher; she'll be helping us tomorrow. Sunny Lisboa this morning. Us Lisboetas, Lisboans, the Alfacinas, I beg your pardon. Alfacinas have nothing against Porto, he says, as a reaching out there in a fraternal way. Khadija says, however, I'm sorry to have to say this, but my secular Jewish friend, she is the Jew of the neighborhood, which says it all if you know anything at all about the South. Yes, it is still like this in 2021. Is that about Portugal, Khadija? Very unusual. Don't hear much like that,
North Carolina, actually.
Yeah. Oh, is that about North Carolina? Is what's being said there? Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Bon dia from Antonio F this morning. Hello, Antonio. Always a great resource and a great friend of the show. Stan de la San Anton, which is a great name as well, isn't it? Retired U.S. military planning to relocate to Portugal, Silver Coast. Good choice, sir. But can someone provide details of where to find rental housing in the Silver Coast? Try Spotter Home, one of the perks of being part of the community here. Spotter Home are good. How did you guys find your accommodation? I know it's not the Silver Coast where you are, but I mean, it can be a bit of a challenge. Was that okay for you?
Yeah, ours was happenstance. So we had someone help us with the visa process, and she had someone else that did worked on leases for apartments. And that person knew someone that was trying to rent out this apartment. And so we were just like, hey, can we at least see it or whatever? And so she sent us all the pictures, and turns out it was an Airbnb, but they let us lease it with an actual lease for 6 months. And so it worked out perfectly. So,
fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, that's very doable at the moment because, of course, the Airbnb market has collapsed, and a lot of Airbnb hosts are open to negotiating a different type of contract, i.e., a recognizable one by the government for your 6 months there. So, I'm so pleased for you. That's great how that worked out. Similar story possibly for you then, Stan. You could start with Airbnbs in the area. Try Spotter Home as well, as I mentioned, but approach the. I think you've got a secret weapon there, I think, Lauren and Andrew, in the person who was able to do that negotiation on your behalf. And that I would recommend, and presumably you would too. Get the Portuguese friend of the friend of the friend, to make the approach, because they'll get you a better price as well, for sure. Bon dia todos from Garvo. Gary's here. Gary Austin, how you doing, mate? Jeff Jackson, what did you think of that result last night, Gary? I bet you were on the edge of your seat in extra time. So true about the politics, work and healthcare. So Jeff agreeing with you about the different respective quality of life, work-life balance, etc. over here. And we'll talk about work in a bit, because I think you guys are able to work remotely, which is a key to part of your plan, isn't it? Have you checked out the usual real estate sites, says Antonio F. I shy away from those, but Antonio, that's a good shout as well. I just find it very complicated, especially if you don't speak Portuguese. There's a whole lot of extra work to do, it seems to me, but I may be wrong. Joel, not far from you, Joel was talking, a friend of mine was saying, oh, I love Joel on your show. And I said, yeah, he's like the Portuguese Jack D. If you know the comedian Jack D, you were described as deadpan, Joel, which I think is a great description for dear Joel up there in Matosinhos. Where's Hank? That's the game we play at the moment. Where is Hank at the moment? Might be able to lie in after some busy times in the capital. He's arrived there, of course. Priorities: dogs, coffee, wine. Fair enough. You have fans, including Stephen Wells here. This can't be bad, can it? Planning your life around dogs, coffee, and wine. Got to find out what your favourite wine is so far as well in due course, Lauren. Walking the dog will help you interact with the locals. So there you go. That's a great asset to have, isn't it? Dogs and children, very good social icebreakers here in Portugal. Actually, wine and coffee does the same. So yes, you've got all the right interests for making friends there. Bam, love Porto. Visit every couple of years. Last time we visited the coast of Matosinhos, lovely seafront walk it is. Have you been there, guys, yet?
Not yet. No.
We haven't. We're just looking at that last night. I think we'll go there next week, actually.
Yeah, and I get the feeling around there. That's where the kind of tech hub is, and this is your thing, isn't it? You guys are techie people, IT people, and is that how you plan to make a living, via your laptops?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll continue working for our companies from the US over here. We will be switching to what they call a global employer over there, when we get our temporary residency. So by that point, we'll be working in Portugal.
Technically, yeah, but we'll still be working for the same companies.
Right,
yeah. Any plans to go freelance? Because that's quite an exciting proposition, isn't it?
We actually already do that.
Okay.
We do both currently. We've had a couple of side projects recently. We just kind of take stuff on when we need to help people out generally. So
why not
stuff that need to be done? So
why not plug that now? Are you happy to do that? Do you want more work?
Give us a couple months to get settled.
We're gonna settle in. Okay, all right. But we'll tease everybody with that possibility, because everybody needs tech help from time to time, don't they? Everybody, it seems. Rudy's here as well. Rudy Nogueira Fal. Where are there a lot of Americans in Porto? Are you finding that? Are there sort of notable American communities or epicenters in Porto?
We've only met one group of Americans.
And they were just passing through.
So their flight accidentally they had to land here because they couldn't go to Germany for some reason. I don't know. Those are the only Americans that we've met.
Okay. Interesting. I mean, the most American voices I've heard are in Lisbon for sure, and in the Silver Coast actually. Caldas de Rainha seems to be attracting Americans. A bit of a build up going on here. Joel says native Portuguese, bit of French, don't like it much. Bit of Spanish too, also not much. English mashup. Your English is fantastic, Joel. GB and American mix. Yes, we've noticed that. And some Japanese. Check him out. There's a Japanese person. There's type you've spoken about, who knows so many languages. Yeah, and that comment was about the south of the US. They're not about Portugal. Joel, that's it. But there's also was an option in high school to choose German, but those classes had few students. It's a hard language, isn't it, Lauren?
It is. I think it's harder trying to go from German to any other Romance language. Because he's picking up Portuguese a lot faster than I am. I'm just what did they say to you? What?
Yeah,
what is happening?
I studied Spanish in high school, and so it's been 15 years ago now. But I'm still picking up a little bit the Portuguese a little faster.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and I mean, no offense to the Germans, but and I know this is especially at a football time, this is an awkward conversation possibly, but it doesn't strike me as the most romantic language in the world. I'm guessing, most people would rather have Spanish or French or Portuguese even whispered in their ear rather than a German sort of a pillow talk, which probably sounds like an instruction to do something quite quickly, doesn't it? If you do it, which you don't want in a pillow talk situation. But forgive me. Forgive me. Try Idealista for real estate in Portugal. Very good. Often you get direct contact with the owner, says Maxine. Thank you for that. Oh, and you made another comment earlier on, I think, Maxine, about, you're not happy about the Brexit scenario. Read dogs. If your dogs are arriving from the UK, the bureaucracy is just another result from Brexit and not a happy one by the sound of it. So it just sounds just as easy from America as it is from UK at the moment. Deborah Davies is here. My boyfriend has just said that Carl has a lovely sounding voice. I agree. And maybe when I'm speaking in German. I don't know. But thank you, Deborah's boyfriend. Hey, Garvo. Yes, it reminds me of Hank's famous joke, which I daren't repeat. Hey, Garvo from Andy. James, bon dia from sunny Skipton, North Yorkshire. Oh, and Paul, question. In the happiness of Portugal, how did you find getting your NIF number and residency applications in the north? Great question. So yeah, I mean, maybe you didn't do that in the north, but NIF numbers and your visa process, how was that for you?
So we worked with Gail with relocatetoportugal.com, and that was great. So she recommended Eurofinesco for our NIF, and I think that took a total of
maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah,
for both of us.
Yeah. It was because I got mine first while we were still waiting for her new passport, and then we got hers once we got it. And it took, between the time that we first emailed them to getting our NIF, it was 4 to 5 days each time.
Yeah, it was super easy.
So that was very fast. And then the residency applications and putting all that together for the lease or for the visa.
About a month.
It took about a month. The longest time was actually waiting for all your name change paperwork to go through after getting married.
Because we got married.
Yes. Yes, I can see that. So that, of course, you need a new passport, don't you? You need loads of new paperwork when you get married, of course, don't you? So that slowed things down a bit. Okay, there's a consideration for people. That's fascinating. So really, it's not been a matter of north-south with Portugal because this was all done remotely. Which consulate did you work with?
Washington, D.C.
Yeah, D.C.
Okay, so Washington. All right, great. I mean, thank you for all this intel.
Yeah,
it really helps people. Mark, a 6-month lease is the best way to go. You can scout out all the different districts within Porto and even town cities on the extensive metro system. Yeah, great metro system there, of course. It's possible to live in a small city with an excellent metro access to the cultural activities of Porto. And I think the metro goes out to Povoa de Varzim, where Mark lives. He's got this excellent connection with Porto. Doesn't want to live right in the city, but can get there very easily to go to all the important places, like the Harry Potter Library. Have you guys been there yet?
No, we haven't.
Oh, okay. Well, it's actually an urban myth, Portuguese urban myth. But J.K. Rowling was supposed to have been inspired by this bookshop whose name escapes me now, but it will come into the comments. You watch this; it will come into the comments in just a moment. It's supposed to have inspired her, but I think when asked, it's not actually true. But maybe it did, and I don't know. But it's a beautiful place and worthy of a visit.
From people visiting, but we haven't made it over there ourselves yet.
Okay, so you know about it. Great. Okay. Welcome to Portugal to you from Donna this morning, Donna McLaughlin. You'll have to visit the Azores when you get a chance. A lot of English speakers and American service people here and expats on Terceira. So that's good to know as well. You've got so much to do, haven't you, after knowing and loving Porto, the whole of Portugal to look forward to after that. German isn't a romantic language in any sense, possibly, just has a reference use Google Translator. Type ambulance and translate it into German, play sound and see how scary even the word ambulance is. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. German, Carl, that's quite the German stereotype. Sorry, I thought that might happen. Andy, looking forward to tomorrow's show. Learning the nursery rhyme or the man cave tomorrow evening? Yeah, final ultimate man cave tomorrow night. So that should be a good one. Jerry Lawler, how nice to see Andrew and Lauren finally here. Here's Jerry, who I know has been sort of intertwined with you on this journey. When my daughter was 14, her claim to fame was that she could swear in 16 languages. Regards from a proud dad. Yes, and it would sound amazing in German. Myself, as a native Portuguese, also speak English as Antonio F. Kind of regular. Some bad French. Make up some Spanish and Italian. and know some words in German and Russian. There we go, another Portuguese with a great grasp of the world's languages. Italian, I think you can get a lot of Italian just by the rhythm, can't you, and the gestures. I feel like I could speak Italian. I definitely can't, but just with a few hand gestures and some poetry in my delivery, I feel I'm getting somewhere. Even where I live in Matosinhos, it's a very rural place, says Joel. That's a lovely thing. Even at Orient bus station in Lisbon the other day, I walked to the end of the bus station. There was a field. This is right in the middle of the capital, at one of the busiest transport hubs, and there's just field at the end of Orient there. How are you finding that getting about in Porto? Is that because you haven't brought a car with you, have you?
No, we've been walking everywhere.
Right.
We've only walked, yeah. Which has been really great, actually. Being able, even though it's been like 30-minute walks, it's been so nice. Just to walk around the city and just see some stuff on the way and see some stuff on the way back, and we love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's nice to be able to, because North Carolina, you have to have a car. There's no way to get, maybe if you're right in the middle of downtown in a city, you can, but you pretty much need a car anywhere in the south of the US.
And is that a conscious decision for you? Would you rather be carless and use public transport and Ubers and so on?
Yeah.
Yeah. We did actually have a little, convertible roadster that we were considering bringing over until we saw the taxes we'd have to pay. Yes. And so we passed on that. There was going to be almost twice as much as the car was worth.
It happens.
But so we considered that, but no, it's we're not going to get a new car anytime soon here. Just take advantage of walking and public transport as much as we can.
Yeah, and you can always treat yourself to a rental every now and then, can't you? If you're in Porto, absolutely get a rental and just go anywhere in the country in a few hours. Absolutely brilliant. Okay, so it is the Livraria Lelo, isn't it? Livraria de Lelo, says Mark as well. So thanks, Pam and Mark, from that. Not far from the Clarijos there as well. So something to put on the list. Good evening from Alder. Good evening, morning from full lockdown in Sydney. Yes, Sydney sounds a bit serious at the moment. Sympathies to you, Alder. Hopefully all for a good reason. Jim White, any advice for working with DC VFS Embassy? So DC, the consulate there, how was that? And what are your insider tips on that?
Make sure you have your paperwork in the order that they requested in.
Okay.
So working with Gail, she made it super easy, but she did go through our paperwork, I don't know, 2 or 3 times to make sure we had it in the right order. We got approved in 14 days, which is crazy.
Excellent.
So that was part of it, because there are some other people that were just like, we just sent in just some stuff and took them like a month and a half. And I'm like, did you send it like in the right order? Because they're going to go through it and be like, no, where's this thing? Where's this thing? And
so definitely, because the VFS, they have their checklist that they actually go through to check off what you have. And so just put it in that order in the envelope.
Mm-hmm. That is the biggest piece of advice.
Right. So invest in some stationery, like a little binder maybe, and then you put the things in, you could put them in sort of chronological or administrative order.
Yeah.
So as they open the package, just make it as easy for them as possible, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the acronym VFS, could you let everyone know what that stands for?
I don't know.
Actually, I don't know.
Let's stay with the acronym then. DC. I mean, it's got to be sort of Visa something service, probably, isn't it?
Yeah, the VFS is the company that the embassy contracts out to do like pre-checking of all the applications, and then they just forward it onto the embassy once they've kind of checked off that everything is in the packet.
Yeah. Oh, terrific. Okay, yeah. So they're the sort of outsourced administrative aspect, probably.
Early filter.
Yeah, there you go. So get it in the right order, Jim. That's the advice there. Very helpful this morning, you guys. What can we do for you? I mean, you're new in the country. You're new in Porto. What do you want to know about the city and the country? And then we'll get some help coming in from the comments.
I think we're just still trying to figure out right now, because we like Porto a lot, but we're wondering if we should go ahead and buy within the next year, or if we should continue to rent and move about. I think that's our biggest issue right now, is just trying to figure out if we want to buy here or just keep moving around and renting.
Yeah.
But that's kind of a personal, like, we just don't know yet because we've only been
Yeah,
here
of
for 4
course.
days. So,
Yeah, fair enough.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
Early days, and I
yeah,
mean, I think it's fair to say that buying property in Porto is a pretty savvy move at the
right.
moment. You won't regret buying a decent and resellable property in Porto.
Right.
It's not the same as buying a characterful quinta in the middle of central Portugal. I mean, it just seems that Porto real estate, like any of the big cities, is going crazy at the moment, despite the pandemic. So I
Yeah.
think you'll be fine there. Fiona Worrell saying "Bon dia all." Good morning to you, Fiona. How are you doing? Tudo bem? Yeah, the Lelo bookstore. Cheers, Namaste, Dave. Namaste, Dave. Someone in Porto, what should these guys do? Let us know as a nice introduction to the culture of the city and Portuguese life. There we go. A very helpful link for the Lelo library bookshop there. Gary saying you might want to mention that there might be a rental vacancy in Coimbra since Frank is listed missing in Algarve. Yes, coming up soon, a rental lease transfer possibly in Coimbra. Get in touch with Frank or his manager, Gary. Even I prefer public transport in Porto than to use the car there. It's a nightmare. So, okay, there you go. But they don't know they're born, do they, Portuguese drivers, compared to some of the roads in both US and UK? I mean, it's not that bad, is it?
No.
Relatively speaking.
We were surprised because we actually came from DC, and just coming from DC to here, I was just like, oh, this is fine.
This is very calm.
Like, this is calm.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was not. I was surprised that it was not like people were saying it's terrible here, and I'm like, this is fine. I don't come to the US and see what
exactly. I've never seen 12 lanes across. Like in LA, for example. That
Right.
you think, okay, they've built 6 lanes to keep things moving, and it's still at a standstill.
Right.
At 6 o'clock at night. So come on, Joel. It's all relative. Sean Maguire, the advice coming in is definitely buy now, and you can always sell later. From a man who knows about these things. And Manuela B, hello from Central California. Good morning to you, Manuela. Thank you for joining us at this time of day. Jacqueline CDM, bon dia, the Silver Coast. What is the translation of that, Jacqueline? I keep trying to remember. Prato, is it Costa de Prato, if I recall correctly? Welcome to Portugal from Claudia as well, Claudia Boralho. I'm a professional Portuguese foreign language teacher. Excellent. Feel free to message me for a trial class. Shameless bit of self-publicity there. Nothing wrong with that. If you're willing to share, says Jeff Jackson, I'm curious to know the monthly expense budget you've planned for. Do you care to share such personal information?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. Can you count it in your head?
Yeah, I mean, we honestly haven't, really written it out into a real strict budget. We're paying $800 for the apartment,
right?
Which
includes electricity, Wi-Fi, TV,
everything,
all of that,
and a
Isn't that
weekly
great?
cleaning service.
Yeah.
So it's fully furnished. So that's been really nice.
And I mean, I think we've maybe spent around 200 euros in the past 4 days for all of our food and stuff. So maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we've been going out and enjoying it. So.
Like, we've really been
so
we've been going out for everything. So maybe 700 a week, 600, I don't know, 500 a week. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that would be the high side. Yeah, we're definitely enjoying our first days here, and overspending what we should.
Yeah, good for you. It's the continuation of your honeymoon, right?
Yeah. This is our honeymoon. We didn't get to have one in the US, so
COVID shutdowns. So this is.
So it sounds like a very doable budget would be 2,000 euros a month, and you could still live very happily on that.
Yes.
Oh yeah, easily. Yeah.
Easily. Yeah.
There you go, Jeff. There you go. Paul Richards, have Lauren and Andrew traveled much in Portugal yet? They've only been here 4 days, Paul. Look, just in case you didn't know or realize, Paul quite likes the Algarve. And he says it's less busy this time of year. Yeah, of course. And then, as you go into the springtime and autumn are the best times to go, aren't they, Paul, for the Algarve? But even now, because of the pandemic, it's quiet. Andrew, very good, Andrew. A4 lever arch folder for my documentation. Some people have a filing cabinet on wheels here. And you can take the train from Porto to come up this way and down to Lisboa. So there's an invitation up to the Minho there. We did a trip to and from the far north to Lisboa. It was fun and easy and inexpensive. Yeah, public transport is great here. Come on, have a galao inata in Caminha. There's an invitation. How wonderful. Antonio F, thank you. Look, we knew someone would come up with this. VFS is the Visa Facilitation Services. We should have known that, shouldn't we? Easy guess there. I thought it might be Portuguese. Thank you so much. We're thinking about Porto as well, says Jim. Love Matosinhos. Try Rua Heróis de França, beg your pardon. A street full of fish restaurants, apparently owned by the fishermen, so you get their catch. Oh, that sounds good, doesn't it, Lauren? With a nice crispy Douro white, possibly, with those meals. Fantastic. Ian Pitchford, good morning. Happy birthday. Thank you, Ian. Appreciate that. Wonderful. Matsushino says small quintas, less messy and easy access to transport. Singing the praises of Matsushino. She'll say that there's an option for you. Coimbra University offers inexpensive Portuguese language courses and helps with visa and accommodation. There you go. I'm happy with their services so far. Some great options. We have our favourites, of course, Expats Portugal, but there are clearly options, as you can see there. VCI is the Portuguese version of Interstate in America. At rush hour, you're lucky to move 10 metres. 10 metres, that's a lot by international standards. Joe, I'm at work, not very busy, says Manuela B. From California. Thanks for sharing, says Jeff. We spend about 1,500 up there in the north. In the far north, that is, a month. That's a pretty good budget, isn't it? It's cheaper here. Also, our car insurance was $250 for the year. I paid $165 a month in the US. What a lovely comparison there. Oh, you guys, I need to ask you, tonight we're doing this, which is supermarket shopping, the cost of living in Portugal. How are you finding provisions? And what's your favourite supermarket so far? Oh, does Andrew go out? You're looking at Andrew. Is that Andrew's department?
No, we just haven't even gone to a store yet.
So you're proper newlyweds.
Eating out all day.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I see.
I don't know.
Okay, all right. Sorry, I thought it was like John and Yoko loving. You haven't left bed barely, but you're not buying any food because you're eating out all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Good for you. That sounds fantastic. You hit the ground running. Have you shopped for your dogs yet? Curious how similar the pet foods are to what you used. Oh, so you obviously got some supplies in for Nimbus.
Yeah, that was
what
the
you
only
got?
store, that was the only store we went to. So we picked up their food bowls and we got them new food. And so far, I mean, it seems more organic than back home.
Yeah.
And that was all to choose from, which is fine. And our dog, the dog that's here, loves it. It's I think pretty much the same type of food that we would have bought in North Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, I think what we got is, I think it's actually their store brand. But it's the same qualities that we had, and they even have some of the same brands that were in the U.S. here. So you can get probably exactly the same thing if you really wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you what, as well, in Portuguese people love meat, and in the butcher department or the pre-packed meat, they're often on sale, as going out of date. And you can buy meat really cheaply and give your dogs a treat of fresh meat.
Yeah.
This is cheap as dog food, and not processed at all.
Right.
So that's something to watch out for as well. Raquel, bon dia everyone. If you enjoy walking, try the world's longest pedestrian bridge in Aruca Geopark. This is one for the list, isn't it? This highest suspension bridge, an hour away from Porto, to take a backpack with water. Do you fancy that?
I don't do heights, so
I don't mind.
That's not for you. Not one for Andrew there. I mean, that is a real your knees will be wobbling, wouldn't they, halfway over? You think I've still got to go all the way back again. That's only a second half car length, but that's not much, says Joel, about the jams in Porto there or Matosinhos. A way to immerse yourself in the culture, eating out with the locals. Yeah, absolutely. I think we all approve of that. What a brilliant way to come and enjoy the culture. Vets bills are so much cheaper in Portugal as well. You've got that to look forward to should you ever need them. Hopefully not too much, or insurance, of course. Kate's here. Kate Gimblett, welcome to Portugal to you too. Used to love visiting Asheville, North Carolina, and playing old-time bluegrass on the green. Hope you'll be happy here. It's hard to rent a nice house, so you may be better off buying. There you go, some advice from Kate. Do you know Asheville?
I'm from Asheville, actually.
Are you? Okay.
Originally, yes.
And did you enjoy playing old time and bluegrass on the green? Or are you glad to get away from it?
We used to go watch it, and we loved it. But but yeah, I didn't play bluegrass myself.
Okay, all right. Well, you may have a American Saudade at some point where you get together a bluegrass band here in Portugal just
Oh, that would be
to get
interesting.
to
Yeah.
recreate that. Joe's here as well. Bon dia, Joe Bilksame. Vets bills are so much cheaper here. And how is the cheese? Finally, we better let you go and have a meal out. You're probably hungry for breakfast. And you've got your favorite cafe. How is the cheese? And let's find out what your favorite wine is. So Joe is asking, what's your favorite cheese so far? The queijo?
Oh, I had a ginger, what was it?
Gouda.
Gouda. I had a ginger Gouda, and it was the best cheese I've ever
Really?
had. It was so good. I think
Ginger
that's
Gouda. Wow.
ginger Gouda, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was at a wine bar right in front of the river, and it was amazing. And then we had a aged Vinho Verde, and I don't remember the brand of it.
I can't remember. It was a 2011 though.
Yeah,
and
it was so good.
It brought out some different flavors that I'm used to from the younger Vinho Verdes.
Mhm.
So those are really good.
You're obviously fans of the Vinho Verde anyway, but that's an interesting twist, isn't it? To save it from 2011 and have a little bit of a treat like that. So excellent. So you're liking the crispy in this bright sunshine. You're liking the crispy young whites there.
Yeah, I'm usually more like, once it gets, I don't know, in the 50s at night here, I'm like, okay, now I'll have a red. Like, it's a very seasonal or temperature based for me to drink wine. But yeah, when it's sunny and hot, then I'm going to go for a white or a dry rosé. So
fantastic. Thank you for letting us in, giving us your Vino insights there. Queijo de Serra is all you need. Only one cheese required. No instant cheese here. That's considered sacrilege. I think he's talking about American cheese, isn't it? Or American so-called cheese.
Cheese.
Or cheese in a can. If you miss that, you'll probably be able to get it sent over. Many types of Portuguese cheese to choose. Absolutely. Jeff is asking, Khadija, I'm having a hard time getting my head around such a high quality of life on a much lower budget. Don't knock it. Don't wonder about it, Jeff. Just enjoy it. But it is hard to compute, I think, because it's all relative. But yeah, fair comment there, Jeff. Make the most of it. Welcome to Portugal. And of course, people will accept twice as much money if you want to give it to them in restaurants. Actually, probably they wouldn't. Portuguese people are so wonderful like that. It's, no, you can't pay us twice. That's the price. That's what you pay. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Welcome to Portugal. As a Portuguese, I love seeing these amazing people come and make Portugal home. Thanks for choosing Portugal. Isn't that lovely? Angelo from Cleaning Time, giving you a proper Portuguese welcome there. And along with Angelo and everybody else here, I wish you all the best here. Thank you for being with us this morning. Is there anything else you want to ask or share before you go out and have your next meal out?
No, I think so. Yeah.
I think we're just going to go try some more natas.
More coffee.
More coffee.
Superb. I'm going to continue to talk about food, but bless you both, and thank you very much for coming and talking to us this morning. Lots of love to Nimbus. Forgive me, what's the other dog's name? Because we can't.
Freya.
Freya.
Freya, F-R.
Freya, I beg your pardon. So Freya and Nimbus and Lauren and Andrew, so good to talk to you, be with you this morning. And all the best for Nimbus's arrival this afternoon. So, te logo, ciao, beijinhos. We'll see you soon. Have great fun here.
Obrigado.
All right. Oh, look at him. Andrew's chucked in an obrigado. That sounded really good to me, Andrew.
We're still in progress.
All right. Join us tomorrow for the children's nursery rhyme. Bye for now.
Adios.
Ciao. Oh, fantastic. The Loves live from Porto this morning here on the Good Morning Portugal show. Isn't that lovely? First of our moving to Portugal features that I think you liked that, didn't you? Finding out more, wishing them well. And Kate, just checking in a quick recommendation there. Check out the Alentejo wines. There are some. It's true. It is true. After Douro, it does get overshadowed a bit, doesn't it, by the Douro, as all other wines do in Portugal, of course. I ordered something from Portugalia. They brought me something different, as they said it would be better for me. That's great, isn't it? Sounds about right, says Elra. There you go. Yes, that isn't what you wanted, but you'll enjoy this and it's better for you. That was fantastic, Cole. Absolute pleasure, Jeff. That's what it's all about here, helping people. In these last 10 minutes, then, you see them getting quite disciplined, aren't they? 9 till 10. So you can finish at 10 and not be kept and made waiting for any appointments, or keep others waiting for appointments. So that's what we're going to do. We'll be getting a bit more disciplined in my new year. I've got some New Year's resolutions, as well as not drinking the booze. The Good Morning Portugal show will start at 9 and we'll finish at 10 pretty much. I can't do it also in BBC fashion with beeps and stuff like that, but let's see. 9 till 10. It's what you wanted. I was thinking, should it be 30, 90 or 60 minutes? 60 minutes seems to be the consensus. So just a couple of things to share with you. I didn't do this yesterday, but look at this lovely thing. It was a diary I found, because you can see a pocket diary in a beautiful shade of beige. This is the color of those Portuguese taxis, isn't it? That Joel was talking about before. So before I finish, I just want to share a couple of things with you about the birthday celebrations yesterday, and this lovely diary. And the reason I'm showing you this is because in one of the places I lived, a former pension, beautiful place in Korea, which is still on the market, incidentally, although I think there's some quite keen interest at the moment. But it was a lovely place to live, and we did a little bit of renovation work on it. And then circumstances changed, and we moved and have moved to a different part of the country. But whilst I was doing a bit of clearing up in the pension, I found this no, it's not a dictionary. What am I talking about? This diary from the year of my birth. And I thought, I'll keep that. An authentic Portuguese diary from 1965. And it has all the things in it that you would expect from an old diary. And some of the old accounts, or, that are scrawled in there. It's not, I'm not peering into someone's personal life. And anyway, it was abandoned pretty much. But it has all the loveliness of an old diary. And I just thought, that's so special. That's from the year of my birth. Look, it's even got a fold out map of Portugal. Do you remember when diaries used to be like that? before the electronic digital age? Isn't that beautiful? Some people won't have seen something like this. And there's this rather fantastic, is that a ready reckoner, or what do you call that? Where I mean, the thing is about this is you need a pair of glasses to go with it. You should have gone to Specsavers when you get a diary of this kind. But look, you can relate on the X and Y axis the distance between towns, and then handy road signs. Back in the day, kids, this is what diaries had in them. Maps as well. It's like Google in your pocket. And we were happy. We were happy with this. Look, Diario 1965. Isn't that amazing? What else has it got in it? As well as, I'll tell you what else it's got in it. And this is quite a spooky coincidence. What else it has in here, as I was thumbing through, I found a British stamp with King George on it. Look at that. That's probably worth about 2 million euros, isn't it? Look at that. King George on there. A 3D stamp, not as in three-dimensional, but 3 of the British pence of the time, I think, when it was pounds, shillings, and pence. And that is George on there, isn't it? A philatelist. Philately will get you everywhere at the moment. Postage revenue serviced in a nice purple there. Isn't that fantastic? All in the little diary from 1965. What was that one picture explaining how to use the diary? maybe it's got built-in instructions as well. I mean, I'm sure it's got, at the beginning, it's, you put your name and your address and your telephone number, and maybe your shoe size, and your waist and your height and your weight and everything like that. But there is an index. It's so complex that it has an index. So not exactly instructions on how to use it, a place to put all the birthdays, happy times, telephone numbers, taxi rank numbers of all of Portugal, Lisboa, Porto. I wonder if I could ring one of these up from the show one morning. The electricity supply companies. Life was so much simpler in 1965 that you could immortalize it in a diary. Quite incredible. And there's just half of it is not sort of space to write the date and stuff. Half of it is all this other sort of info and gubbins going on there. It doesn't even start till halfway through. And it's got lovely illustrations in it as well, like that. I think that's the diary company peddling its wares. That's what you saw, Andrew. Isn't that lovely? A table of elements, probably. Conversion table, probably. I remember my grandparents, as Elra, always had magnifying glasses in their house. I guess it would be for diaries. It would, wouldn't it? And sewing or whatever. or probably anything actually, to be fair. It's coming home. What is definitely coming? I mean, it's Sunday. It's going to be so exciting, isn't it? Amazing. Any more forecasts on the result against Italy on Sunday? Amazing how the smartphone does everything. Yeah, this is the old smartphone. Hello? Can't talk to you now. I'm on the train. I get a code to access my work email. And look, back in the day, it was all in a little book like that. And I want, it hasn't got a space for a pencil. There's a shortcoming. But I suppose you'd have had a fountain pen to write in it in those days anyway. And the ink would have got everywhere. Oh, and there's a little sticker as well from where I found it. Korea. Isn't that beautiful graphics there? Korea, Portugal there with its health, recreation, sport, and pleasure. There's a great claim for a wonderful town, a village in Portugal, Korea. You got to go there. Amazing place. Okay, so in these last 4 minutes, let me very quickly find you some pickies of this wonderful restaurant I need to recommend in my part of Portugal. It's Ascension, and I must find the review that I wrote and read it out to you very quickly. And this might allow me to show you a few pictures, which I haven't loaded up into the picture deck. I'm going to take a chance and share this with you directly from Facebook, which is being really slow. Why are you being like that? Where is this particular thing I want to show you? Okay, yeah, Tastes of the Silver Coast is where I posted up my pictures and my review as well. So let me open that up and show you what's going on there. I'll take my life in my hands sharing Facebook with you. With some of the messages I get, people wanting to get married or send me money or whatever. Let's see what happens here when I bring it onto the screen. So let's go to. I am a bit slower than normal, aren't I, this morning? I think I'm not effervescing after a lovely day yesterday. A little bit slower out of the blocks, as it were. But here we go. Here's my review. Taste of the Silver Coast Group. This is rather lovely, actually. Desculpa English because I couldn't do a Portuguese review. Had a beautiful birthday lunch at the only restaurant in the village. Fortunately, recently reopened under the new management and culinary direction of Chef João, who we shouted through as we were leaving. We shouted through the kitchen window, "Obrigado, muito obrigado." João came to the window and talked for us for a while. What a lovely man! And the restaurant is Ascension. Is that Ascension, Auntie Ascension, or that's a Portuguese name? But I mean, I love the vibe, Ascension. I mean, this is the spirit of his auntie, I think, who must have been his culinary influence and inspiration, rising from the ashes. Or I don't know if it's from the ashes, but the restaurant itself is rising from the ashes. It's been closed down. It's had a reputation, a good one, for many years. It had been closed down. It's reopened again under Joao's leadership. Named, as I understand it, in honor of Joao's aunt, this place, and this is my review. I love how good cooking passes from one generation to another like this here. And with dad front of house. So Joao's dad was front of house, along with another wonderful fella. This was a wonderful and reassuring experience. Flavoursome traditional Portuguese dishes on the menu with additional treats away from the dailies like queijo frito, accompanied by a homemade jam. Look, there's a friend request coming in. Like queijo frito and remarkable glacial salad. Never had it before. Salty, crispy green. It's making my mouth water thinking about it. When we never tasted anything like it. Even the kids like this. Salty, crispy salad. Glacial lettuce. Have you ever had it? Great to bump into Chris and Helga too from Vinhos Cortem, the organic wine producers. Going to meet up with them again. They were in there. It was lovely. It really was keeping up with the Kardashians. We plan to go weekly because we want to put some money into the local economy. We're going to go there every week and fill our bellies once more with chocolate and mango mousse as well as creme brulee. I'm mouth-watering again. And next year, after my booze fast is over, ice cold Sagres, the chilled glass and a big bottle of Sagres. Stop it, Carl. Don't do that to yourself. And a very palatable and Moorish Vinho Tinto. Mrs. M loved that. Great job, Joao. Let's just show you some pictures before we go. There's the glacial lettuce, some lovely red onion there, the plum chutney and the deep fried Portuguese cheese, which was beautiful. Few walnuts in there. Fantastic. There's the exterior. I hope you're seeing that on your screen. And the menu, the blackboard menu outside with the dailies. Mrs. M looking fantastic, isn't she? Beautiful in the fantastic decor within. And yeah, back to me salad there. Chicken, had a salmon and on pasta. It was delicious, and everyone just tucked in and shared everything there. So thank you so much. Thank you to the Loves. The Loves were live here on Moving to Portugal, our new feature on a Thursday to take over from Places and Spaces. Pretty much the same thing, but more first-hand testimony. Tia is used by some people as short for Tio Uncle or Tia Aunt. Yeah, it's named in honor of his aunt. We were lucky last night. Oh, come on. Italy will not be easy. Carl, the scoop, or was it on purpose? No, it was. I just wanted to share that I couldn't do it in Portuguese, so I had to do it in English, and I apologised for that. England will win on Sunday, guaranteed a result of my prediction. Thank you very much. That's fantastic, Angelo. And thank you to you all for this morning. Got to go. It's 10 o'clock. Ciao, ciao. We'll see you tonight on the webinar, and those of you on the beta plan, the expats plan on the beta group. Thank you all so much for doing that and being part of that. It's very exciting. We'll see you at 9 o'clock. And we'll see you in the morning where we're learning Portuguese nursery rhymes, children's songs with Philomena for Philomena Friday. Have a great day, folks. Ciao, ciao, and bye for now.